Okay, on D, you got to change this first minus sign to a plus, and the x minus 1 should be x plus 1. First step is to factor. To factor out the top right here, we're going to use grouping, because I see 4 terms, and it starts with x cubed. Group into 2 groups, like so. After we've grouped it, we're going to take out the greatest common factor from each group. The greatest common factor in the first group is x squared, which will leave me with x plus 1. The greatest common factor of the second group is negative 9, which will leave me with x plus 1. That shows me my 2 factors, which would be x plus 1 and x squared minus 9. That comes from, wow. Wow, okay, I'm just going to write it. Oh no. That leaves me with this, x squared minus 9. But notice x squared minus 9 factors out again, right? So we're going to have x plus 1 times x plus 3 times x minus 3. So this top expression factored out is x plus 1 times x plus 3 times x minus 3. Like so. Over, now I'm just going to give you a spoiler alert, this bottom right here, this doesn't factor out. So we can just rewrite this as it is. But now look at this fraction that I've just written out. Notice that there's an x plus 1 on the top and the bottom, right? So right away I can just cancel that out. That will make this easier later on. But we do have to account for the x plus 1 as an undefined value of x. All right, we're going to write divided by, and the x cubed minus 27. How would you factor that out? You have to use the difference of cubes formula on the board over here. Exactly, and it's going to be x minus 3 times x squared plus 3x plus 9 over, and the bottom, I can't factor this out, 2x plus 1, just leave it as it is. All right, we got to check for our undefined values of x. I can see 1 right there, the x plus 1 tells me that x equals negative 1 is an undefined value. And then the 2x plus 1 would give me what? Negative 1 over 2, that's right. Alright, so continuing on, we have here that x is equal to negative 1 based on this factor right here. And then we have that x is going to be equal to negative 1 over 2. That's because of the 2x plus 1 right here. If I set that equal to 0, 2x plus 1 equals 0. Can I scroll down? No, I can't. There we go. Things are flying all over the place. Equals 0. And if I solve, watch this. 2x equals negative 1 divided by 2. X is going to be equal to negative 1 over 2. Boom. So there's 2 values where x of x where this expression is going to be undefined. X is equal to 1 and x is equal to negative 1/2. Alright, so now the next step is I'm going to rewrite my equation as a multiplication problem. So equals, I'm going to flip the second and then multiply. So x plus 3 times x minus 3 over, over x squared plus 3x plus 9. I'm going to change it to multiplication and flip the second fraction, so 2x plus 1 over x minus 3 times x squared plus 3x plus 9. Alright, and after that I got to check again for new values of x that would make this expression undefined. The x minus 3 here, you see this? This gives me another value of x where this expression is undefined, which would be x equals 3. Alright, like I said, these factors right here, the x squared plus 3x plus 9, it doesn't factor out, so that's not going to give you any values of x where it's undefined. Alright? So now we're going to take our last step, which is to simplify. What can we cancel out on top and the bottom? I see x minus 3 on the top and the bottom. Cancel that out. That's the only thing we can cancel out, which leaves me with x plus 3 times 2x plus 1 over x squared plus 3x plus 9, quantity squared, because there's 2 of them. Alright, and to finish this problem, get a complete answer, I'm going to multiply the top out. The bottom, I'll just leave it like that because the quantity squared makes it simple anyways. But if I FOIL out x plus 3 times 2x plus 1, I get 2x squared plus 7x plus 3. You can FOIL to find that out if you can't do it just mentally. And then just leave the bottom as x squared plus 3x plus 9 squared. And that will be your final answer.